The next coach, I don't know. I don't think it's. Look, I do like Mark Gray. I've met him much times. I don't know his source. I don't think he's making it up. I find it hard to believe that Urban Meyer is going to be named their head coach on Monday.
It's not going to happen.
Per the rumor. I don't think Urban Meyer is going to come back to coaching. Look, I'm going to the Hollywood Casino tomorrow, and if they have a prop bet, is Urban Meyer going to be coaching in the NFL next year? Anywhere, Dallas, Redskins, whatever. I would bet no.
Yeah.
And I don't think he'll be coaching college football next year.
Yeah.
But that's just gut.
Yeah.
And then, so my gut is Monday, we're just going to hear that Callahan's out.
And that the assistants are, some have been told that they're not going to be retained, and a few, maybe even Callahan, maybe Kevin O'Connell will be told, stand by, we want you to interview with the new coach.
Yeah, but I don't think it's going to be a flood of news.
Is there a chance?
Bruce Allen one, the interesting thing with the Bruce Allen thing is, and we've talked about this with some people, is typically there's not an announcement that you're retaining a GM or whatever job title he has. You don't say you're bringing somebody back. Like they didn't do that last year for Bruce Allen or the year before.
No, but they'll be asked. And so someone like their PR, whoever it is, replace Tony Wiley, someone's going to have to say, we have full expectation that somebody from the team will have to respond to that request, because all the reporters are going to ask what's happening with Bruce. So they're going to have to respond.
But who are they asking?
They're going to ask
the PR guy.
They're going to ask the PR guy.
Yeah, because
they don't put anybody in front of them.
The wacky thing about this team is the GM
He's never held accountable.
Job title is Bruce Allen spoke when they fired Gruden. And people asked, well, why isn't Snyder here? And he was like, oh, because I'm here. I'm Bruce Allen.
Yeah.
Hasn't spoken since to the media. So the big boss has never really talked
it's a good point.
to the media.
Well,
so if the coach is out, like who goes out and says, we're moving on from Callahan?
They just issue a statement.
Yeah.
That's a cop-out way. You issue a statement.
Yeah.
Say the Dan Snyder and the Washington Redskins have, whatever the phrase is, relieved Bill Callahan of his duties. We thank him for his service to our team, and we'll begin our head coaching. We'll continue our search for a full-time head coach. We thank everybody for their service, and each of the assistants will be evaluated on an individual basis and have the opportunity to interview with the new coach.
So I think that could
Something
very
along
easily
those
happen,
lines.
because I can't see Bruce Allen on Monday
and then
saying we decided to move on from Bill Callahan, because then immediately they're going to ask him, why are you still here, donkey? You have an awful record.
Right.
So Bruce isn't going to say anything. And
no,
then
it'll be
Bruce,
a statement.
If they move on from Bruce, like if Snyder, a lot of people say it's all about Daniel Snyder. It's all in his head. No, he's not talking to anybody about it. But let's say Snyder, he's had his come to Jesus moment. And he realizes, you know what? I got to fire my friend. No great coach is going to come here with Bruce Allen in the football operations. I need to move on. Wouldn't Snyder have to go in front of the media to say that, or they would just release do a statement for Bruce Allen?
Dan doesn't talk.
Yeah.
He's not going to do it.
Oh, man.
He's a little weasel. He feels burned. He doesn't feel comfortable.
Will we ever see Dan Snyder in front of the media again? He used to do that, like when we brought back Gibbs. Of course, he's sitting down there.
Well, you might see him introduce a guy, but he's not going to take questions.
Right, if they had a big signing, he would be there.
Well, yeah, like back in the past, like when we bring Gibbs, he'd go to the podium, he'd say, "It's my pleasure to introduce to you a legend, whatever, Joe Gibbs." And then he sits down and never answers any questions.
Right, or if he signed, some big free agent, or they might have a couple of free agents out there, or the rookies out there. And
in fact, I think though, because I was at the Gibbs presser, I think he just sat with the media. I don't even think he was at the podium for that one.
He's so disconnected. Again, if you want to chime in, 800-636-1067. So I'm going to predict Callahan will be ousted on Monday. The Bruce fabulous. I think he will ultimately be removed from that position, but it might take a little while, which is unfortunate because there's going to be a race to hire the best head coaches. And the Redskins are going to probably be in that position they were probably with Zorn or maybe even with Gruden, where they end up with the nubster.
Yeah. Well, again, and Dan has to know this, if Bruce is still, he's going to have to convince whoever they bring in that Bruce is no longer involved in the football operations. If Bruce is still going to be involved ultimately, eliminated field.
When was La Femina and that whole crew fired? Was that immediately after the season? Can you guys look that up?
I can't remember. Didn't
But
somebody
I mean, those aren't really football operations people. Those were people that were brought in
behind the scenes
to change the marketing of the team.
Yeah, those are behind the scenes guys. You know, we liked them. The media liked them because they talked to us and stuff. But
And they were honest. Their approach was,
Presumably.
we're going to be honest. So immediately they said there's no waiting list.
Yeah.
And they were trying to do things to make the fan experience better, whether it was traffic flow into and out of the stadium. They were trying to hook up, lower the cost of some of the things there. I don't know that they accomplished it much. Remember last year people saying they might have got like $1 off on a hot dog.
Valdez, you care to guess what happens Monday?
I think on Monday, the Redskins will announce that they are in a coaching search, and also Callahan will get an interview.
Callahan will get an interview, right?
Yeah, but we're in the process of our coaching search.
And all of our coaches will be evaluated individually and have an opportunity to interview with the new coach.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I think Callahan will have a compelling argument to be head coach.
What do you think the odds are that Bill Callahan is a head coach in 2020?
50-50.
50%?
Yeah.
Because Bruce, that's the way Bruce stays.
It's Bruce's lackey.
Yeah.
It's his buddy, and then Bill can easily point to Haskins and his development and say, I am responsible for this, and if you want to continue this
I've restored order to the organization here. We're trending in the right direction. Most of these games have been close. We need to get healthy. We need to give Dwayne a full off season in the program.
And I can help build up Dwayne, and you can tell by the last 4 weeks I was able to,
and we started to score points,
leaps and bounds with him, and we can continue this. And here's my here's my 3-year plan. And then I think if he's that meticulous, he can get the job.
And
easily.
What we'll do to mollify the fans is we will, if that's the correct word, we will hire a new defensive coordinator.
They'll hire a big name defensive coordinator named O'Connell, the offensive coordinator and assistant head coach.
Yeah.
That'll appease a lot of the fans out there that think that they'll lose him.
We'll announce the hiring of D'Angelo Hall as assistant GM, right? Something like that to the front office.
Maybe a name to the front office. But I think Callahan actually has a really good – he has the inside track, I will say that. He may not be the big name.
Is that because you believe Bruce ultimately is still in charge?
Yes.
Bruce is still going to be calling the shots.
Yes.
Man.
Then I think you can spin it. So if Callahan is the head coach, that you can spin it to appease fans.
But you got to bring in a massive name as a D coordinator.
Oh, yeah.
You got to bring in a stud.
Manubsky's out.
Give me a scenario where Manubsky stays.
By the way, next week is the week where the teams can have their coaches – the teams that are in the playoffs can have their coaches interview, like teams like the Ravens.
Right.
So if you're going to do a Greg Roman interview,
that's my guy.
You have to interview him this week.
I'm a Greg
right?
Roman guy.
It's got to all be done this week.
I can't remember how the rules, they change every year.
You interview him this week, and then you wait until after the season or while they're in the playoffs. So if you want to interview the defense coordinator, I think his name's Salah from the 49ers that was catching a lot of buzz earlier in the year, you got to interview him this week.